arrived across the Coronado Bridge. We're at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Clear skies and just beautiful weather here for tonight's game between the UCLA Bruins and the Texas Longhorns. And here come the Longhorns. Brad Nessler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit along with you. The excitement's building up for the start of this bowl game, and it looks to be a great game filled with heartbreaks and celebrations. The Bruins are going to have to play a great football game if they expect to win this one, Kirk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think you're exactly right about this. Texas looks to unveil their high-powered offense, and the guy to look out for is their wideout. Lee, I'll tell you what, this defense and this young secondary is going to have their hands full because I think they're a little overmatched.
And another thing, Texas is a physical team that really goes after you on defense. Watch them put serious pressure on his quarterback, forcing him into making careless mistakes. And capitalize on those mistakes will be the reason why they win.
Thanks, guys. Should be an exciting game. Now let's get down to midfield where they're ready for the coin toss. And the fans are on their feet awaiting the start of this game as the players line up for the kick. Kicks it off. Number 29 fields it in the end zone. It's 1st and 10, ball on the 21-yard line. Number 27 is the deep back as they line up in the I. Number 27 gets the carry. He's out to the 30. He's hit and got away, and they make the stop at the 35-yard line. That was a pretty good run.
Incredible effort there running the football by this guy.
Here's another look at that fantastic run. First and 10, ball on their own 35. Number 10 has 4 receivers lined up here. He drops back. He unloads it, and it's caught. He'll move. And he puts it on the turf. It's scooped up, and he's tackled at the 42-yard line. Looks like they got a lucky break there, guys.
What was the receiver doing on that play?
He sure wasn't holding onto the football very well, that's for sure.
A second down and 3 to go. Ball on their own 42. 2 tight ends here. Little handoff. And he's going to lose yards on this one. How about that defensive stop?
That's a great effort by the defensive line there. Anytime you can get into the backfield and disrupt the timing of a run like this, you're going to come up with a big stop.
We got 3rd and 3 here. Ball on their own 42. UCLA will line up in a jumbo set here. Number 10, hands off right side. Brought down at the 48. And they keep it on the ground and pick up the first.
Good 3rd down conversion right here. Not a real big play, but this gives them a new set of downs to work with.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go to the air here and really attack this defense.
It's 1st and 10, ball right around midfield. Texas going with a 3-man front. Number 47 on the inside handoff. Number 21 with a takedown at the 43-yard line. 9-yard pickup. Second and 1, ball on the 43-yard line. Texas lines up defensively in 4-3. And he's taken down at the 39-yard line. And that's a pretty nice run there.
Yeah, for a first down, too.
Yeah, anytime you can get production like this from the fullback, you give the defense something else to worry about.
First and 10. This is the 6th play of this drive. Number 27 lines up in a deep back, I formation. There's the play fake. Under pressure. Complete. Tackle at the 37-yard line. And they were stopped for a minimal gain on the play.
That was a sensational effort by the defense. They were all over that pass.
Second and 8 coming up here. This is the 7th play of this drive. 3-man front defensively. Breaks one. And they make the stop at the 31-yard line. About 6 yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 2 to go. This is the 8th play of this drive. They come out with 4 linebackers. Number 10, little toss to the right. They'll wrestle him down in the backfield. And the defense just swarmed over him on that one.
Yeah, they were able to penetrate the offensive line and get to the running back before that play even had a chance.
It's 4th down now, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 34-yard line. Texas comes out in a 4-3. Number 10 drops to throw. Lets it fly. Number 18 has it. They throw a flag. They'll bring him down at the 22.
Got an inadvertent face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's 1st and 10. They're inside the 20. UCLA comes out with an I formation. They'll run the option. Now he pitches it. Bounces off the would-be tackler. Spin move. Number 40 brings him down at the 11-yard line. The running back gives them 6 yards on the ground. Second and 4 coming up here. This is the 11th play of this drive. Texas going with a 3-man front. Nothing doing. Tackled for a loss on the play. He didn't really have a chance on that play.
Boy, guys, how about the defense on this play? They sniffed that play out from the start.
Third and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 14. Texas lines up with 5 defensive backs. Drops back to pass. Looking. He guns it to the left. And it's knocked down. Great defensive play by the cornerback. Fourth and 7. Ball on the 14. They'll call on the field goal unit here. The kick is up. There's a flag on the play, and it's through the uprights.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. On the defense. The penalty is declined. The kick is good.
UCLA lines up for the kickoff. Kicks it off. Number 3 fields it at the 2. They'll start this drive at the 24. The Longhorns line up with 5 receivers. Missed tackle. He's out to the 30. Number 17 with a takedown at the 31. 7 yards there. Second and 3 coming up. Ball on their own 31. UCLA comes out in a 3-4. Back to pass. Lets it go. And it's knocked away. Almost intercepted.
Well, the quarterback threw the ball, and you know what? I don't even think he saw the defender that time.
Third down and 3 coming up. Ball on their own 31. They come out with 4 linebackers. Nice spin move. Number 44 brings him down at the 37-yard line. A few yards there and a first down on the halfback toss. First and 10. Ball on their own 37. UCLA brings in the nickel here. Number 2, back to pass. Rifles it over the middle. Number 9 hangs on to it. He threw a bullet in there.
Oh, he sure did. We've already talked about his arm strength, but what really impresses me are his mechanics. His passing motion is so fluid.
It's first and 10. 5th play of this drive coming up. The Bruins bring in the nickel package. Number 2 drops back. Number 9 makes the catch. Not a bad play there.
Not at all. And if this wideout can continue to make plays like this, allowing them to spread the ball around, this offense is going to be tough to stop.
First and 10. They're threatening inside the 20. The Bruins bring in their dime package. Number 2 drops back to pass. He's looking for his man, and he drops it. I think he heard footsteps that time, guys.
He must have heard something because he just flat out dropped that ball.
It's second down and 10 to go. Ball on the 16. The Bruins line up in a 4-3. Number 2 gives it up the middle. Tackle at the 13-yard line. The fullback picks up about 3 yards on that carry. It's third down and 7 to go. This is the 8th play of this drive. The Longhorns have 5 receivers on this play. And he's tackled at the 4-yard line. And that is going to be enough for the first.
Is this kid amazing or what, Kirk?
Well, absolutely, Lee. You and I talked about him earlier in the game. What impressed me there is he knew exactly where he needed to go to get the first down the whole time.
And we've come to the end of the first quarter with the score, UCLA 3, Texas nothing. And we're ready now for the start of the second quarter. They're crowding the line. He drops back. He's in trouble. Number 32 with a catch. They'll bring him down at the 1. That one's going to put him over 2,000 yards for the season, fellas.
Well, anytime you can throw for 2,000 yards in Division 1A football, you know it's been quite a season.
They're crowding the line. Number 2 gives it up the middle. There's a flag down, and they hit him in the backfield.
Got an inadvertent face mask on the defense.
They line up in the jumbo set. Play action. Throws it out there. He's got it. Touchdown. How about the tight end? This guy can play some football.
You bet he can. He's such an all-around player. He's just as good at blocking as he is at catching the football.
And he hits the PAT. Over 7 minutes now remaining in the second quarter. And the score is Texas 7, UCLA 3. Texas to kick. Number 6 and number 29 back ready to return. And they'll be returning this one. Number 29 has it at the 5. First and 10. Ball on the 25. The Bruins come out in a 2 tight end set. Number 94 with a takedown at the 32. That'll be a 7-yard pickup. Second and 3 coming up. Ball on the 32. UCLA sets up in the I. Drives back to pass. He passes it. Number 27 has it. 4 yards gained. First and 10. Ball on their own 36. Ace backfield. Number 27 gets it on a pitch. Number 23 brings him down at the 42-yard line. A nice 6-yard gain by the tailback there. Second and 4. Ball on their own 42. The Bruins come out in the ace formation. Number 10 steps back to pass. He throws it. Incomplete pass. The tight end almost had that one. Third and 4. This is the 5th play of this drive. Number 10 with 3 wide receivers. Number 27 on the handoff. Brought down at the 49-yard line. They picked up the first down on the ground attack.
You know, great job there by the offense on a crucial 3rd down lead to pick up that first down.
Kirk, did you see the way those guys blocked on that play? That was beautiful.
It's first and 10. Ball right around midfield. Texas going with a 3-man front. Back to pass. Under heavy pressure. And down he goes. He couldn't avoid the sack there, Coach.
Hey, that protection has got to get better because you don't want your quarterback to get smacked like that.
Second and 11 coming up. This is the 7th play of this drive. The Bruins line up with 3 wide. Number 49 tackles him for a loss on the play.
It's a nice job by this defense. They were not fooled at all on this draw play.
You're right. They were all over that play.
They're down and long coming up here. 8th play of this drive coming up. Texas lines up in a dime defense here. Number 10 back to throw. He's under pressure. Fires a bullet out to the right. Incomplete. The wide receiver couldn't catch up to that ball.
And you know what? No one could have caught up to that one. He just misfired it.
Fourth and long. Ball on their own 39. UCLA lining up the punt. Number 3 fields it at the 27. A good return. They'll get the ball here at the 38. 4-3 defense. Number 2 tosses to the left side. He spins. Number 44 with a takedown at the 39-yard line. The halfback toss gets them a yard. Second and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 39. UCLA comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. He drops back. He's looking. He fires left side, and it's caught. Number 49 brings him down at the 39. No gain. Now it's 3rd and 9 coming up. Ball on the 39-yard line. UCLA lines up in a dime defense here. Drops back to pass. He lets it go. Complete. And they make the stop at the 49. A nice pass play there.
Let me tell you, the reason why this play worked was the fact that the defense didn't do a good job of knocking the wide receiver off his route. You got to jam him at the line and throw their timing off.
1st and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line. UCLA brings in the nickel here. Number 2 drops to throw. Looks. Here comes the pressure. He unloads it. And that one's fallen incomplete. Man, he had to get rid of that ball in a hurry.
You know, it seems like he's allowing the defense right now to control him by throwing bad passes under pressure. What he needs to do is make some plays and start controlling the defense instead.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball right around midfield. Pro formation here. Number 32 gets a pitch. He tries to spin. Number 17 with a takedown at the 49-yard line. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry. Third and 8. Ball on the 49-yard line. UCLA lines up with 5 defensive backs. Back to pass. Steps up. Number 4 hangs on to it. They pick up solid yardage there.
Yeah, nice little pitch and catch there. The wideout was able to find a little open space in the defense, and the quarterback was able to get him the ball for a good pickup.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 39. UCLA lines up defensively in a 3-4. And he's taken down at the 38. And he gets a yard on the run. Second and 9. This is the 8th play of this drive. Texas in a 4-wide set. Lets it fly. And that's a tough play to make, Coach.
You know, having to concentrate on the ball while the ball is still in the air sometimes causes the receiver not to be aware of where the sideline is.
It's 3rd down and 9 to go. 9th play of this drive coming up. Texas comes to the line with 3 wide. He steps up, looking, lets it go, and it's caught, and down he goes at the 29-yard line. Nice pass, but not enough for the first down, and that's going to bring up 4th.
I know, yeah, but nice pass and catch. But when you don't convert the first down, it's not as nice as you'd like.
Fourth down, less than a yard. They're in field goal range. It looks like they're going to try for the long field goal. It's up. And he got it. And he's got to be happy about that kick.
Oh, no question. This kid is a solid kicker.
Texas ready to kick this one off.
Texas is lined up for the kickoff.
He kicks it. Number 29 has it at the 5. Gets past the tackler with a stiff arm. They'll go to work at the 33. Texas lines up defensively in a 4-3. He drops back. He's looking. He's looking for his man. Number 5 bats it down. And an outstanding play defensively.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly and managed to get a hand in there to deflect the ball away.
Second and 10. Ball on their own 33. The Bruins come out in a 2 tight end set. Number 10, back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Looks. He's going to try and scramble. Number 1 makes the catch. The offense calls a timeout, and they've got 2 remaining. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 32. UCLA lines up in a shotgun set. Looking, throws it out there. Off his hands, incomplete. Almost a nice catch.
This is a missed opportunity here. The receiver got his hands on the ball, but couldn't quite pull it in.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line. UCLA in a 4-wide set. Number 10 drops back to pass. He passes it. And it's incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10. This is the 5th play of this drive. UCLA comes to the line with 3 wide. Number 10 steps back to pass. And he's got it for the touchdown. He hauled in the long pass for the touchdown.
This receiver is big time, big play. If this were baseball, he'd bat cleanup because he's the biggest home run threat they got.
And he tacks on the extra point. Down to just a few seconds left here before the half. And our score, UCLA 10, Texas 10. UCLA to kick. Number 3 and number 12 back to return. Decent kick, looks to be returnable. Number 12 takes it at the 4. They'll take over at the 19-yard line. 4-3 defense. Number 2 gives it up the middle. Brought down at the 24-yard line. And we'll go into halftime here with a score all deadlocked. We'll see what kind of halftime adjustments were made as we prepare to start the second half. And they'll be returning this one. Number 3 takes it at the 4. They'll start this drive at the 29. They'll use a 4-4 defense here. Jed's a tackler. Number 42 brings him down at the 42. And the fullback made him pay big time on that little run.
Little. There was nothing little about that run, my friend.
No joke. He busted through there for some nice yardage.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 42.
1st and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
The Bruins come out in a 4-3. Number 2 drops back. He throws it. It falls incomplete. And he misses his wide receiver there.
Yeah, you're right. This is an area that he's worked so hard to improve since day one. The accuracy of his throws. He's improved, but as you can see, he's upset here with himself.
It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 42. UCLA comes out in a 4-3. Number 32 on the handoff. Number 17 with a takedown at the 48-yard line.
On defense, it's all about instincts. It didn't look like their instincts worked too well on that play.
You're right, Lee. There was a lot of running room there.
1st and 10. Ball right around midfield. They use 4 linebackers. Drops back to pass. He's looking. He lets it go. Complete to the 20. He finally goes down at the 11. And that's the way you're supposed to play pitch and catch.
Absolutely. You know, this wide receiver is a difference maker. He's one of those players that has a chance to go the distance every time you get him the ball.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 11. They come out with 4 linebackers. Sheds that one. And they make the stop at the 1-yard line. They get about 10 yards on that play. They're crowding the line. Penalty marker on the field. Touchdown, Longhorns.
Got an inverted face mask on the defense.
and he hits the PAT. So with just over 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter, our score is Texas 17, UCLA 10. Texas is ready to kick it away. Here's the kick. Number 29 takes it from the 6. They'll get the ball here at the 24-yard line. Number 27 is the deep back as they line up in the I. Number 10 gives it up the middle, and down he goes at the 25. He picks up a yard on the play. Second and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 25. Number 10 comes to the line with 3 wide. Number 27 gets it on the inside. Brought down at the 26-yard line. The halfback picks up a yard. Third and 8. Ball on their own 26. Number 27 lines up as a single back. Number 10 back to throw. Pumps once. He unloads it. And it's picked off. And it'll be the safety that gets credit with that last interception.
And let me tell you the reason why. He watched the play develop and made a break on the ball. And then he made a great catch. Those are all the ingredients that you need to intercept the football.
First and 10. Ball on the 32. They come out in a nickel. Number 2 drops to throw. Lets it fly. And it's caught. He spins around. And he's taken down at the 22. And Herbie, that was a good-looking throw.
Yeah, and what impresses me is the composure of this young quarterback. He made a great read, saw the open receiver, and delivered an almost perfect strike. Good-looking play.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 22-yard line. Texas in a 4-wide set.
Set. Put hot. Put hot. Hot. Put hot.
Looks. He's on the run. He lost the ball. And the defense is on it. What happened to the football on that last play?
Brad, it looks like to me the quarterback wasn't ready for the hit. Because if he was, he would have held on to that football.
It's easy to say that from up here in the booth, but when you're down there on the field, it's a whole nother story.
First and 10. Ball on their own 27. The Longhorns put 4 men up front. Little handoff. And he's tackled at the 30-yard line. The fullback picks up about 3 yards on that carry. Second and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 30-yard line. Number 27 alone in the backfield. Back to pass. Under pressure. Lets it go. Incomplete pass. The wide receiver couldn't catch up to that ball.
And you know what? No one could have caught up to that one. He just misfired it.
Third down and 7. Ball on the 30-yard line. UCLA lines up with 3 receivers. Number 10 drops back to pass. And he's going to lose yards on this one. A loss of about 6. It's fourth down now, 13 yards to go. Ball on the 24. They come out in a punt formation. Number 3 fields it at the 35.
Beautiful, beautiful coverage.
Very well covered all around. They'll go to work at the 35-yard line. UCLA lines up defensively in a 4-3. Number 2 gives it up the middle, shakes off a tackle. Nothing doing. Tackled for a loss on the play. And the tailback stopped behind the line on the draw. So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 35. UCLA comes out in a 4-3. Number 32 gets a handoff to the right. Number 11 tackles him for a loss on the play. Nowhere to go on that play, Coach.
Boy, you're absolutely right, Brad. This is a great job by the defense in not giving him any room to create anything.
3rd and 11. Ball on the 34-yard line. Texas in a 5-wide set. Number 2 steps back to pass. He's looking for his man. Complete. Number 17 brings him down at the 49-yard line. And they get the first down. That is unbelievable.
Wow, Kirk, this quarterback's showing some big-time nerves out there. 3rd and long, it's just like 1st and 10 to this guy.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of poise from this young man.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line. Texas goes with the ace set here. Number 2 on play action. And they couldn't hook up on that one. He just let his wide out a little too much that time. So it's 2nd and 10. 5th play of this drive coming up. Number 32 lines up as a single back. Little handoff. Number 6 with a takedown at the 47. A 2-yard run by the halfback. Third and 8. This is the 6th play of this drive. They come out with 3 wide receivers. He drops back. Steps up, throws it out there, and it falls incomplete. Fourth down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 47-yard line. The Longhorns are lining up to punt it away. Number 9 calls for the fair catch, and they make the fair catch at the 11. They'll take over at the 11. The Bruins come out in the ace formation. And down he goes at the 11. He's going to come out. It looks like he was hurt on that last play.
Rub some dirt on it, kid. Get back in the game where you belong.
It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 11. The Longhorns use a 4-man front here. Number 15 gives it up the middle. They'll bring him down at the 13. Couple of yards there. Third and 8. Ball on the 13-yard line. The Bruins line up in an I formation. Number 15 drops back. He passes it, and that one's fallen incomplete. And the wideout had trouble holding on there.
And I'll tell you what, he was holding on for dear life there. I don't think he was concerned about the ball too much on that play. Nah.
4th and 8 coming up now. Ball on the 13-yard line. The Bruins are lining up to punt it away. Number 3 signals for a fair catch. He hauls it in at the 49. They'll start this drive at the 49-yard line. Going with the shotgun here. Number 2, back to throw. He steps up, he throws it, and it's caught. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The wide receiver picks up good yardage that time. That was a nice pass. Let's watch it again. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 25. 4-man front by the defense. Counter play. Number 49 brings him down for a loss. And a great effort by the defensive end, coming up with a big stop. So that brings us to the end of the quarter, and at the end of 3, our score, Texas 17, UCLA 10. And we're ready for the start of the 4th quarter. 2nd and 11 coming up. Ball on the 26. 4-man front by the defense. On the ground, up the middle. Number 77 brings him down at the 21. A 5-yard pickup for the tailback. It's 3rd down and 6 to go. Ball on the 21-yard line. They come out in a nickel. Back to pass. He's in trouble. He lets it go. Complete. And he's taken down at the 17. 4th down, Coach.
Yeah, they just didn't get enough yardage on that pass.
Fourth and 2. Ball on the 17. Number 7 is lined up for the kick. The kick is up. And it is good. Texas to kick. Number 6 and number 29 set to return. Kicks it deep. Number 29 fields it in the end zone. They'll get the ball here at the 20-yard line. They come out with a big set. Drops back to pass. Looking. Now he's scrambling. Throws it deep downfield. And it's caught. And he's tackled at the 46-yard line. The tight end came up with a nice catch that time.
Yeah, nice catch, and he shows off a few moves there.
Yeah, the big fella's pretty athletic for a tight end. And as a quarterback, it's always nice to have a big target like this to go to.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 46. Number 27, alone in the backfield. Gets the ball. No, they faked it. Complete. Loses the football. Number 43 recovers a loose ball. And it looks like the big old lineman recovered that one.
Yeah, it's a good awareness. He made a smart play to get on top of the football.
Excellent field position to start the drive. Texas comes to the line, only one man in the backfield. Number 2 gives it up the middle. Number 44 with a takedown at the 43. Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback. Second and 9, ball on the 43-yard line. Defense lines up in a 4-3. He unloads it. Incomplete pass. That was a risky pass there.
Yeah, he knew his receiver was covered, but he tried to force it in there anyway. That's way too dangerous. You got to be smarter than that.
Now it's 3rd and 9 coming up. Ball on the 43-yard line. Number 2 lines up with 5 wide out. Number 2 back to pass. He's looking. Lets it fly. And it's caught. They'll bring him down at the 37. Doesn't get enough for the first down.
Yeah, nice job of making a few yards, but they got to be disappointed they didn't make the first down.
Fourth down and 3. Ball on the 37. UCLA lines up with 5 defensive backs. Number 2 steps back to pass. He fires right. Complete. Brought down at the 24-yard line. Well, he showed off his arm that time with a heck of a throw. First and 10. 5th play of this drive coming up. The Bruins line up in a 3-4. Number 2 drops to throw. Fires across the middle. Number 17 brings him down at the 8. Here's another look at that pass, Kirk.
Boy, Brad, what a great throw by the quarterback. I mean, this guy doesn't mess around. He sees his target wide open, gets him the ball quickly. Look at the velocity on that throw.
The Bruins put 4 men up front. And he's tackled at the 6-yard line. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry. Texas goes with the ace set here. Number 2 fakes a handoff. Number 4 with a catch. And down he goes at the 2-yard line. That little play action good for about 4 yards. Let's see if they can get it in for the touchdown. Number 2 gives it up the middle. Touchdown! How about that one?
Well, the fullback does a great job here of powering that one in for the score.
Here's another look. And he tacks on the extra point. So with just over 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the score is Texas 27, UCLA 10. Texas is ready to kick it away. We should have a return on this one. Number 29 fields it at the 3. Good coverage by the kicking team.
Yep, beautiful job of playing their assignments right there.
They'll go to work at the 17-yard line. Number 10 with 3 wide receivers. Number 10 drops back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Number 11 tips it away. And the linebacker makes a good defensive play.
The thing I like about this play is he made the play without getting pass interference. This is a good football player.
It's 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 17. Going with the shotgun here. Back to pass. Under heavy pressure. It falls incomplete. Looks like they had a guy wide open there, fellas.
Yo, how'd they get that guy so wide open? Boy, they were lucky he didn't get it to him.
It's 3rd down and 10. Ball on the 17. The Bruins line up with 2 tight ends. Looks. He's scrambling. Lets it go. And it's caught. Number 28 with a takedown at the 33. What happened to the defense there, Coach?
Well, the defense is coming on the blitz here, as you can see. But they get held up a little. And that gives the quarterback just enough time to find the open receiver.
Drops back to pass. Steps up. He's looking for his man. Complete. And they make the stop at the 30. That'll be a gain of 3 yards. He drops back. Throws it out there. And it's incomplete. The wide receiver couldn't catch up to that ball.
And you know what? No one could have caught up to that one. He just misfired it.
Third and 7 coming up here. This is the 6th play of this drive. Texas comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. Back to pass. And he's tackled at the 29-yard line. And that won't be enough for the 1st down.
Great job here by the defense in shutting down the run. That's a real boost for this team.
Number 10, back to pass. He passes it, and this one's going to get intercepted. He's to the 40, crosses midfield, to the 40, at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Longhorns. That last INT gives this defense 2 on the day.
Not a good throw there. The quarterback needs to make better decisions.
What happened on this one, Kirk?
Well, by looking at the replay, you'll see that the football is tipped. Great concentration by the defense there to come up with the interception.
And he hits the PAT. So with just over 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, our score, Texas 34, UCLA 10. Texas to kick. Number 6 and number 29 deep to return. Kicks it off. Number 6 fields it in the end zone. It's 1st and 10, ball on the 23-yard line. The Bruins come out in the ace formation. There's a missed tackle. Number 11 brings him down at the 28-yard line. And the clock continues to run.
Now let's see if they try to hurry up here.
Number 10 drops back. He throws it. Number 18 has it. Brought down at the 39-yard line. And they beat the blitz that time and came away with a nice play. Drops back to pass. He lets it go. Intercepted. He's at the 30, inside the 20. Number 10 with a takedown at the 10. And that was interception number 3 for this defense, and they got to be happy about that. They use 4 linebackers.
Put hot! Put hot! Put hot! Hot!
Handoff up the middle. He's hit and got away. Number 2 brings him down at the 5-yard line. About 5 yards there on the fullback carry. They're crowding the line.
Set! Hot! Hot! Hot!
Number 42 tackles him for a loss on the play. Kirk, they really had nothing going on that run.
I'll tell you what, Brad, it's almost like he ran into a brick wall on that play.
UCLA brings in the nickel here.
Hot! Hot! Hot!
Little handoff. And he's taken down at the 6-yard line. The defense calls a timeout, and that was their first timeout. Number 7 lined up for the field goal. This should be a chip shot. It's up, and it's through the uprights. Texas to kick this one off. Decent kick, looks to be returnable. Number 6 takes it from the 6. They'll take over at the 28. UCLA sets up in the eye. Number 3 with a takedown at the 32. The offense calls a timeout, and they'll have 1 timeout left. Second and 6, ball on the 32. Ace backfield.
Offside. Home defense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second and 1 coming up here. Ball on the 37. They hand it off. And they hit him in the backfield.
How about the play of this defense here? They got a great push up front, and they're able to wrap the fullback up for a nice stop.
It's 3rd down and 2 to go. Ball on the 36. They'll use a 4-4 defense here. Number 49 brings him down at the 40-yard line. And thank goodness this one finally comes to an end, because I'd hate to see it get any uglier. Coach, what's your final thought on the game?
I was a little surprised by the lopsided score, but I think the better team came away with the victory. Texas simply dominated their opponents in every aspect of this game. This is a very good football team.
Thanks for joining us for another presentation of NCAA Football 2003. And once again, our final score in this one, Texas 37, UCLA 10. This is Brad Nessler for Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit saying so long.